Yeah, it's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoom, Connoisseur Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in the room. And now I'm dealing with Kanoom. Yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear, because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah. Now, please tell me, the story is still, developing, but I just heard something that, to me, it's overwhelming to me, that Floyd Mayweather, who is in the 40s, the early 40s or mid 40s, that's about the oldest. I didn't look it up. I should have looked it up, but he in the mid 40s. Ain't no question about that. He's entertaining getting in the ring. It's an exhibition fight, of course, but he's entertaining getting in the ring with Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., not his son, Junior, who's still actively currently pursuing boxing at an aggressive manner. I think he lost some big bouts and shit, so it kind of took his glorious type of run or whatever he was trying to do away. Because he was knocking motherfuckers out, you know what I mean, a dime a dozen. I'm speaking about Chavez Jr. This silly ass business brain, because I can't disrespect him in the business world, because he makes some hell of a business mogul like deals, what he set himself up for, and his whole generation, his lineage, his family name should be rich from here on out, you know what I mean, unless he's some kind of silly bitter nigga that he don't leave nothing to his kids. He leave X amount of dollars to his kids and then he do some other weird shit with it. I don't know him to be like that, I'm just saying. He's a very questionable type of figure. Now, I got my own quote. I made a quote up a while back, but it just really stuck into my subconsciousness. This is how the African community, the black or African American, however you want to call yourself again. When I say African community, I'm speaking about us in America, the Africans in America, and all across the world, but mainly the people you call black and African American and all that shit. I'm Negro. I'm speaking to us. He strikes me as a funny figure for the African American world. And like I say, he's a celebrated businessman, and I can never take anything away from him. Anybody doing something positive, like, you know, getting their currency straight, setting up their family so they don't have to want for anything, hats off to him. I salute him at the highest level. Trust me, I do. But as far as people, for me, I used to I like to get into polemics, which is basically, you know, like a debate. And go back and forth with people on anything. I really like doing stuff like that. When people start saying he was the best because his record reflects that, man, he's a clown. Some of his biggest fights, allegedly, happened outside of the ring. And who was on the other side of those biggest devastating knockouts and blows and ass kickings were African women, okay? He have a satisfaction for the conqueror, the European. He got taste buds for all type of different racial and ethnic groups of women, and that's his thing. He can do that. But the ones that ass he whooped and they took beatings from him, allegedly, this is just in the news again, I don't know, were African women. I mean, even Miss Jackson, I think that's her name, she went on and started fucking with Nelly. He lost her because, see, what they do, they'll take a light skin, light, bright, damn near white, until they can get their hands on what they really have an appeal and a taste for, which is the conqueror or the European, okay? That's what all those successful brothers want. And they can talk all that old shit like, oh man, black girls, black women ain't nothing for me. I had to get me this, that, and the third, do something for myself. And motherfuckers let shit slide. So like I was saying, the quote I came up with, it came into my subconscious mind, and then I just became conscious of it, and it was like, okay. So the quote is, when you rich, the bitch shit will dismiss. You know what I mean? That's excuse the terminology, but it's just true. I'm talking about in the urban world, this is how young urban people talk. When you rich, the bitch shit will dismiss. Again, when a nigga is rich, all the bitch shit he do will dismiss. And that starts off with like funny clothing. They paint their nails, They might have a silly looking haircut and all that type of shit. So when a person getting some money, he can be on a different level than you, and be like, you don't know fashion, and start wearing a one-piece shirt with the buttons under the bottom like he in a motherfucking onesie. Or he can wear some woman clothing like Russell Westbrook. He's so rich, we supposed to just let that go. Okay, LeBron James wearing purses and bags, we'll let that go. Lil Yachty paint his nails, wear beads like a little baby, we'll let that go. Because when you rich, the bitch shit will dismiss. Okay? Now Floyd Mayweather is a 100% pound for pound bitch. If he wanted to just chase money for the economic reason, and that's all he's about is $1, he could have went after Canelo Alvarez. That's about $500 million just laying on the table. His last couple fights has been very questionable. He called out Conor McGregor. He don't want nobody to hurt him. Now he know a 60-year-old man, Chavez Sr., he don't present no danger. Of course, it's an exhibition, but he couldn't do nothing with Logan Paul. That's why he didn't want that as a sanctioned bout, which meaning no judges, nothing, because he couldn't even hold his own with that. So don't you ever, and I want anybody to get under the comments that whoever think he's the best, please bring your silly statements and your childlike understanding of boxing and present them to me why he's the best. I can name 25 boxers, fighters, skilled assassins, killers, whatever you want, smart tactician boxers. I can name 25 before I even get to his name. If I was locked in a room with people around and it was time to fight, I wouldn't want to be locked in a room with him unless it was a strip joint and he can knock all the women out as long as they have African descent. Again, that's allegedly. But all you gotta do is go look it up and see the women who accuse him of knocking them across their head and shit like that. He's not a good fighter. He's not the greatest fighter I've ever seen. Records don't mean nothing like that. I mean, Mike Tyson said what they was doing was a mockery of the sport. You'll bring a nigga that used to work at Kenny's shoe store, a warehouse, MMA fighters, no type of professional background or experience, and you will get in the ring with him for $1 amount? Man, that nigga's a whore for sale. And the glitz and glamour that he has, that can be cool, and it looks upper echelon to you. But I look at a man's integrity. My perception of a man is what I perceive it to be. To me, he's no man. He ducks everybody. If you want to talk about he fought him when he felt the time was right. Time for the picking. He picked the fights that he went after and pursued when he felt the time for the picking was correct. He's in the early 40s. Come on, man. It's niggas out here that want to go get at him. But see, that O must go if he try to currently still go after this boxing shit. He's a clown. Get in the ring with a senior citizen for $1 amount and want me to respect him like he... Come on, man. Sugar Ray Leonard was a greater boxer, and he had some punishing type of DNA about him and characteristics. He was a way better boxer, more skilled tactician, and he will still finish you. So those are just my thoughts on Mayweather, the clown. And when you rich, the bitch shit will dismiss. And that's all y'all been doing with Floyd Mayweather. Got a fake beard on his head, got a fake head of hair put in his head, and y'all think this shit is groovy because he got $1 billion. You niggas is silly, man. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoom, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in the room. You're now dealing with Kanoom. Yeah.